Hey guys, and welcome to Wrestling Days. So today I have got a pretty special video for you. This was an idea sent over, it was dropped in the comments by Max Carroll. Really do appreciate it because it's a fantastic idea. This is going to be the top 5 This Is Awesome moments. And I have had so much fun compiling this list, going back through some of my favourite moments in wrestling, and basically listening to see if the crowd actually chant "This is awesome." I can tell you that the chant is actually relatively new. I've been on quite a few forums and done a bit of research into it. A lot of people seem to think that it originated in the mid-2000s. I think it was 2005. And it seems to have kind of come from TNA. There was a triple threat, which was Daniels against Samoa Joe against AJ Styles. It's quite a well-known match, even if you don't watch TNA. I mean, I'm not a TNA viewer, but I've seen that match. I've not gone back to check, but that's where I'm being told you can hear it within that match, and that is where it really started to kind of grow from. Where it kind of first really is noticeable within WWE is actually in one of my top 5 entries, so I won't ruin that for you. So I can tell you there's a few things though that don't make the list, some quite surprising things. CM Punk versus John Cena, Money in the Bank 2011. If CM Punk wins, he wins the title and he leaves the company. His contract was up and it was time for him to go, and he was going to be taking the title with him. Vince didn't want that, and I've gone through and I can't find that moment when Punk wins, takes the title away. You know, one of the most awesome moments in wrestling history. The crowd don't chant "This is awesome." They're you know, it's a Chicago crowd and they're chanting for Punk and they're chanting his name, but there's no "This is awesome" either. So there's a few kind of amazing moments, awesome moments that don't make the cut. But these are anyway my top 5. I'm sure you'll have a different top 5. I do urge that you go and have a look and see if you can compile one, because it's a lot of fun. I had a great time doing this video. So with that being said, let's get down to the countdown. So at number 5, Bayley versus Sasha Banks at TakeOver Brooklyn. This was voted Match of the Year in 2015. It's, you know, which is, you know, fantastic to receive such an honour, but the fact that it's women, you know, who just really haven't been given the spotlight that they deserve. They're being given more and more opportunity now, but it was largely thanks to the 4 horsewomen that this women's revolution, the Divas Revolution and the women's revolution, has really been able to kind of pick up speed and really break through. Could you imagine a women's division that didn't have Charlotte, Becky Lynch, Bayley, Sasha Banks? Those 4 are known as the 4 horsewomen, and this match is really seen by many people as the pinnacle of the modern women's wrestling. I can tell you that in order to qualify, Sasha was the champion, and Bayley had to beat Charlotte, and she had to beat Becky Lynch in order to qualify and get to the championship match. Bayley ends up winning this. Sorry if that's a spoiler for those of you that haven't seen it, but that means that Bayley beat all 3 of the other 4 horsewomen, and it's just a bit disappointing as we kind of as I record this that Bayley is still not on the main roster. The other 3 have been up now for about 12 months. Bayley obviously made a fantastic appearance at Battleground recently at that pay-per-view, but she deserves to be up there, and hopefully once TakeOver Brooklyn is out of the way this year, then maybe she will go up and join them. So I can tell you that Sasha disrespects Bayley at the start of this match, kind of looking at her going, you're not in my league, why are you in this ring? Why, and like laughing in her face. They have a fantastic match. The match spills to the outside. Bayley has broken her hand in the lead up to this. Sasha takes the tape off of Bayley's hand, puts her hand in between the ring post and the steps, and then slams the steps into her hand. Bayley writhing around in absolute pain on the outside. Sasha goes back into the ring. She doesn't just leave and hope that it can be a count out. The ref is kind of stood over checking on Bayley, and it's at that moment that Sasha goes against the ropes, runs towards the ref, goes over the top with a roll onto the outside, on top of Bayley. It's a fantastic moment. You know, I mean, literally jumping over the ref onto the outside, onto her opponent, you know, is a cherry on top of what is already at this point a fantastic match. And that is what prompts the "This is awesome" chant from the crowd. Fully deserved. As we said, you know, match of the year for 2015. So, and that's number 5. So, so in at number 4, we've got The Rock interrupts Triple H and Stephanie McMahon at WrestleMania 31. I love this moment, mainly because not just before one of the most painful moments I've ever seen occurred, and that is Triple H beating Sting. That should never have happened. Sting should have won that match. So I was really down as I was watching this, and then out Steph came and out Triple H came, and they were rubbing it in. They were talking about the attendance and how they had, you know, been responsible for the success of the event, and how they're really pushing things forward, and how they own the locker room and they own the crowd. And it was at that moment that The Rock's music hits and The Rock comes out, and he steps into the ring and says that they don't own the crowd and they certainly don't own The Rock. He gets into a back and forth, and it's a great promo. If you've not seen this yet, I would urge that you go onto the network and watch it. But fast forward, Steph slaps The Rock, kicks him out of the ring, and you know, the crowd are like pretty down because, well, it looks as if The Rock's just going to walk out back and be done. Far from it. He turns to the side, walks down, goes over, and there's a fantastic moment where the camera just shows you The Rock, and then it cuts to the ring, and in the ring you've got Steph and Hunter looking confused, and then it cuts back to The Rock, and you've got The Rock kind of standing there, and then he looks over to the side, and the camera just moves that much. That's all it needs, because standing there is Ronda Rousey. It is a fantastic moment. He looks back at Steph and he looks at Ronda. He helps Ronda over. Ronda goes into the ring, and that is what prompts a "This is awesome" chant, along with Ronda's gonna kill you chant towards Stephanie McMahon. It is a WrestleMania moment, a real WrestleMania moment, and that comes in at number 4. At number 3, how about a debut? How about a "This is awesome" chant before a single punch has been thrown? This year, TakeOver, Dallas, Sami Zayn versus Shinsuke Nakamura is at my number 3. Sami Zayn had been injured for a long time. He was leaving, and he wanted one big match, one final big match, and he was promised that he would go up against an absolute world beater, you know, one of the greatest in the world, the latest signing to NXT, and that was Shinsuke Nakamura. And you know, a lot of the NXT crowd are very familiar with what goes on in Japan and what goes on in the Indies, and so Nakamura is already a well-established name for the work that he's been doing. Yeah, this was his debut. He debuted at TakeOver Dallas, and he had this fantastic, well, I mean, you surely would have seen it by now, Shinsuke's entrance, absolutely fantastic, mesmerising, full of charisma. It prompted holy shit chants, and that was just his entrance. There was then dueling chants of Nakamura, Sami Zayn, Nakamura, Sami Zayn. And again, this is before a single punch has been thrown. They're staring at each other, and then the moment happens, they go to lock up. Shinsuke just ducks underneath the lockup and then kind of struts away like that. And that is what prompts the "this is awesome" moment. Not a single punch is thrown. They don't even lock up. But the entrance and the way that the moment has been built up, the fact that he's just full of charisma, and even when you think it's about to start, he dodges out of the way, and a bit more charisma, a bit more showmanship. This is awesome. In at number 2, Sting debuts. Now, this for a long time was my number 1, but there's a good reason why it's not, and we'll come to that in a minute. But basically, you've got Team Cena. If they win, then the Authority, Triple H and Stephanie McMahon, they are out. If Team Authority win, then several members of Team Cena will lose their jobs. Eric Rowan, Dolph Ziggler, and Ryback. It comes down to a 3-on-1 with only Dolph left for Team Cena. Dolph manages to even up the odds, and it gets down to Dolph versus Seth Rollins. That is basically what it all boils down to. Who is going to win? Dolph Ziggler or Seth Rollins? Team Cena or Team Authority? Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. I'm pretty sure there are "this is awesome" chants all throughout this match, but when it gets down to these final two, it is perfection, because both guys are kicking out of stuff. The referee's being pulled out the ring by Triple H, who's trying to keep it, himself in a job. And bottom line is, Triple H is beating up on Dolph Ziggler. He puts Seth Rollins on top, calls a referee out. Referee comes running down. 1, 2, lights go out. The crow sounds. The Titantron lights up. Sting's face is partially revealed as what seems to be like a light bulb swings in front of his face, and then the music hits and out he comes. It is goosebumps on goosebumps on goosebumps. He goes down to the ring, steps into the ring, stares eye to eye at Triple H. The crowd don't know what to do. They don't know what to do. There's a bit of silence. There's a bit of holy shit. There's a little bit of Sting chants. It finally, they stare at each other in the ring for like a minute, maybe even longer. And all these chants and all this kind of confusion and all this kind of... It all comes out, but in there is a "this is awesome" chant. And it really was. It's one of my all-time favourite moments. Up on the wall, actually, just up there, there's a bit of ring canvas from every pay-per-view in 2014, and there were 2 reasons that I bought it. One is that is the streak finish, the Undertaker streak, and number 2, Sting debuted, and so there is a bit of the ring canvas just on the wall behind me, which is pretty cool. In at number 1, top of the tree, WrestleMania 25, Shawn Michaels versus The Undertaker. This, as I said, had to be number 1, because talking about the history of this chant, this is the first time that it is really noticed in WWE. It's even commented on by Jerry the King Lawler, who says the crowd are chanting "this is awesome" and they're not wrong. I can tell you that the chant starts... this for me is the greatest match of all time. If you've not seen Shawn Michaels versus The Undertaker at WrestleMania 25, put some time aside to watch it. It is phenomenal. It is Mr. WrestleMania, just 1 year after he retired Ric Flair. It is Shawn Michaels going up against the undefeated at WrestleMania Undertaker, who is trying to get the streak to, I believe, 17-0. I can tell you that the moment that prompts the "This is awesome" chant is that Shawn goes over the ropes, and you know he can normally pull himself up. He's done it in Royal Rumbles before to stop himself from getting eliminated. Well, he pulls himself up and he pulls himself right into a tombstone. Undertaker grabs him, goes over, hits the tombstone, and this is after, you know, a hellacious match, back and forth. They've been, you know, 2 counts everywhere. This is it. I mean, this is it. He grabs him, hits the tombstone out of nowhere. 1, 2, Shawn kicks out. This is awesome. And it was awesome. And it still is awesome. And all of these moments were awesome. So those were my top 5 This Is Awesome chants, with the number 1 being number 1, because it's really the first time that it kind of made an appearance, if you will, in WWE as a thing. If you go back prior to WrestleMania 25, I'm sure you will find some examples, but it's not like what it was today. Not like what it was today. It's used maybe too much today. You know, someone hits a good move and this is awesome. Cool. I hope you enjoyed this video, because wow, I loved making it and I loved researching it. So yeah, I really do appreciate it. If you've got any suggestions and other videos, please drop it in the comments below. Or if you think I've missed something out, drop it in the comments below. Be warned though, the crowd have to say this is awesome. And I've been surprised going back and just looking at how many times they don't say it. So cool. You can follow me anyway on Twitter and Facebook. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, really appreciate it if you would, because I'll have loads of these videos. I've got loads of Mattel reviews coming your way, I can tell you that much. And keep getting asked if I'm going to do a collection video. It's on the way. It'll be with us next week. So there's loads on the way, so love it if you'd subscribe. And yeah, you can follow me on Twitter and Facebook at Wrestling Days UK. I won't take any more of your time, but thank you very much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you again next time. Bye for now.